What is up, everybody? Solomon here. Hope you guys are all having a very, very good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you happen to be in the world right now. Interesting video today came out from Brian Brooks at the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. If you were not aware, he is essentially the banking regulator, the head banking regulator for all of the banks in the United States. Very much so talking about cryptocurrency being the rocket fuel that powers distributed ledger technology and blockchains. Wow. Amazing, right? We've all known this for quite some time, but it's nice to see that being actually verified and acknowledged. So we will see where this goes. I'm going to show you that video in a second. I'm also going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to go over some of the Flair network news that I had found today, and I wanted to kind of give a brief breakdown from a simple perspective as to what NFTs are. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. So I'm going to go through that today as well. Let me know if you like these, like, I don't want to say educational because maybe you guys already know what this is. But, you know, decentralized finance is another term that I could get into on a different video here and provide more of a breakdown. If it's helpful for even one or two people that watch a video, I think that it's worth doing. So I'm just going to get started. If you see any scams on this video, please do not participate in any of those. Now, this is Andersel, X_Anderson on Twitter. I have seen multiple people post this today, but I just happened to choose his to share on here. So thank you to XRP Neo. He used to be. So this is Brian Brooks. He is the head of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, and I just want you to listen to what he's stating about cryptocurrency. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I think it's worthwhile for you to hear.
Second change I mentioned earlier is the decentralization of finance, or DeFi, powered by blockchains and other distributed ledger technologies, the rocket fuel for which is crypto. Now, this is no small change. It could be tectonic in scale. Blockchain technology is to the financial system what the internet was to libraries and post offices. Regulators and incumbent service providers, all of them, need to get ahead of this or be relegated to economic history.
Strong words, right? And we all know that this is exactly what's been happening across the board here from a institution standpoint with adoption, and if not adoption, at least future-proofing. Same thing from a banking standpoint. Same thing from a large organization standpoint. I mean, all of these, every single organization that is worth talking about, every single banking institution that's worth talking about, if they are not future-proofing with blockchain, then they've already adopted it to some extent. And I talk about this on this channel all the time. They're building up these rails in parallel with the legacy system, very much so. And I believe personally that at some point in the future, obviously, it just switches to the full capabilities of blockchain and distributed ledger. But old money doesn't die too easily. And if you think that these organizations are just going to die off and not adopt, why do you think regulations have taken so long? In my opinion, these companies that are powerhouses, these legacy companies, these legacy institutions from a banking standpoint are very much so have their hands in the cookie jar as far as where regulations are at currently. And I think that's probably a major part of the delay. But we know that it's a tectonic shift. We know that cryptocurrency plays a gigantic role. It is the fuel for the automobile that is blockchain. And that is distributed ledger technology. Now, I did want to get into this. This is Clever_IO. This is a smart blockchain wallet. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. Download the Clever app for iOS and Android. I saw this announcement, though. XRP and Ripple coming to Clever_IO. This was just posted today, I believe. And they tag Brad Garlinghouse, Joel Cat, David Schwartz, and XRP, Ripple, etc., etc. But XRP will be on this Clever wallet now, apparently. So that's good news. I actually don't have experience with the Clever wallet. If any of you do, feel free to comment down below. I'd be interested to see what you think. Now we've got Toho Labs here, Flair app sneak peek. If you were not aware, Flair's partner at Toho Labs I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, are building a ledger app to support Spark. And we can see it right here. This is the probably like the beta version or whatever for Flair, but that's awesome. So now I wanted to get into this more so for this video and talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Flair right here. NFTs are really exciting. Smart contracts on Flair allow NFTs to come to XRP, hashtag unlocking value. Apparently, there's this event that's going to be held on Crypto Voxels, which is essentially like a digital. Hold on, let me find it here. A virtual world built on Ethereum. This event is going to be held on the 31st, and bringing additional utility to the XRP ledger is great, in my opinion. Tying XRP into NFTs, DeFi smart contracts, any of that is fantastic. So I want to go over this and just talk about a little basic overview of what NFTs, non-fungible tokens, are. Again, if you already know what they are, you can skip ahead later in this video, but I just wanted to do a breakdown for people that may not know. What are non-fungible tokens? NFTs. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, contain identifying information recorded in their smart contracts. It is this information that makes each different, and as such, they cannot be directly replaced by another token. Cryptocurrencies, utility tokens, security tokens, and more digital assets and their classifications are evolving right alongside cryptographic and blockchain technology. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, are another example of the fast-paced change in the industry. In this guide, we explore what they are, how they work, and how they're being used. What are non-fungible tokens? Non-fungible tokens contain identifying information recorded in their smart contracts. It is this information that makes each different, and as such, they cannot be directly replaced by another token. They cannot be swapped like for like, as no two NFTs are alike. Banknotes, in contrast, can be simply exchanged for one another. If I have $1, I can give you $1, and you know that you've received $1. If you give me $1 and I give you 50 cents and 50 cents, you know that you've received the equivalent of $1. There's really no uniqueness to the dollar, right? Essentially, it's just recognized money. We all agree, well, that it has value. But essentially, $1 is worth, whatever denominations that you want to get up to $1. We know that it's $1. Banknotes, in contrast, cannot be simply exchanged if they are the same value. There is no difference to the holder. Bitcoin, meanwhile, is a fungible token. You can send someone a Bitcoin and they can send one back, and it would still be one Bitcoin. The value might change depending on the time between exchanging Bitcoin, but it's essentially the same thing, right? I think we can all agree on that. You can also send or receive any part of a Bitcoin measured in Satoshis, as fungible tokens are divisible. Non-fungible tokens are not divisible. In the same way as you cannot send someone part of a concert ticket wouldn't be worth anything. On its own, it would not be redeemable. CryptoKitties collectibles were some of the first non-fungible tokens. Each blockchain-based cat is unique. If you sent someone a CryptoKitty, it would be completely different one if you were to send one in return, unless they return the exact same one. The unique information of a non-fungible token, like a CryptoKitty, is stored in its smart contract and immutably recorded on the token's blockchain. CryptoKitties are Ethereum ERC-721 tokens. They use Ethereum's protocols in the Ethereum blockchain. Now, what makes NFTs so special? Non-fungible tokens have unique attributes. They are usually linked to a specific asset. They can be used to prove the ownership of digital items like game skins, right through to the ownership of physical assets. If you're not aware, a game skin is essentially when you're playing as a character in I don't play video games that much anymore. My kids do. When you have a character, you can change the way that they look. That's called a skin. Outfits, whatever. Right through to the ownership of physical assets. Other tokens are fungible in the same way as coins or banknotes. Fungible tokens are identical. They have the same attributes and value when exchanged. If I send you an XRP, if I send you 100 XRP, it doesn't matter if you send me 50, 20, 30 back. I'm always going to get that XRP is always going to be XRP. You're always sending me 100 somehow. Same thing with one Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. An easy way to think of it with traditional assets is like, if I were to sell my house would be like technically a non-fungible asset just because it's unique, right? It has unique properties that are different than your house. We can't trade houses that are worth the same value and accept just from a value basis, and expect them to be the exact same thing. They're not. They have unique properties to them. How are non-fungible tokens used? As well as for crypto collectibles like CryptoKitties, non-fungible tokens can be used for digital assets that need to be differentiated from each other in order to prove their value or scarcity. Another example of a non-fungible token is Decentraland's land token. Actually, I got into Decentraland in it was like mid 2017. Did actually decent on Decentraland. It was a cool project. I don't hold on it anymore, but they essentially built out this entire blockchain virtual world, and had held, like, literally verified by smart contract. You could buy land in this world. Some of these properties, God, I wish I would have bought some of these properties. Like, when I essentially bought, I think it's, what is their token? It's Mana, I think is what it was for Decentraland. Maybe they rebranded to land. But some of these properties, like the NFTs that they're talking about here, and the property that you could buy in this virtual world, like, skyrocketed in value. And I mean, legitimately skyrocketed. So Decentraland is a blockchain-based virtual world similar to life. Each land token represents a parcel of virtual land in Decentraland, identified by its virtual world coordinates. Super Rare is another project. Non-fungible tokens are not traded on standard cryptocurrency exchanges. Instead, they are bought or sold on digital marketplaces like OpenBazaar or Decentraland's Land Marketplace. Now, how do these NFTs, these non-fungible tokens, work? Tokens like Bitcoin and Ethereum-based ERC20 tokens are fungible, like we discussed earlier. Ethereum's non-fungible token standard, as used by CryptoKitties and Decentraland, is ERC721. Non-fungible tokens can also be created on other smart contract-enabled blockchains with non-fungible token tools and support. Though Ethereum was the first to be widely used, Neo, EOS, and Tron now have NFT standards. I believe VeChain is tied in with NFTs at this point as well. We just saw there that Flair is trying to tie XRP into NFTs. Non-fungible tokens and their smart contracts allow for detailed attributes to be added, like the identity of the owner, rich metadata or secure file links. The potential of non-fungible tokens to immutably prove digital ownership is an important progression for an increasingly digital world. They could see blockchain's promise of trustless security applied to the ownership or exchange of almost any asset. As in the exchange of blockchain to date, non-fungible tokens, their protocols, and smart contract technology is still being developed. Creating decentralized applications and platforms for the management and creation of non-fungible tokens is still relatively complicated. There is also the challenge of creating a standard. Blockchain development is fragmented. Many developers are working on their own projects. To be successful, there may need to be unified protocols and interoperability. Now, this is probably what you guys care about here is the future, right? And they're talking about decentralized finance. They're talking about bringing smart contracts. We know that they're talking about tokenization of everything, including real estate, including our houses, right? I bet you that NFTs tie. If your house is tokenized, I would assume that it's probably going to be classified as an NFT, in my opinion. Predominantly non-fungible tokens are being implemented in gaming and crypto collectibles. For gaming, non-fungible tokens could be used to represent in-game items like skins, potentially allowing them to be ported to new games or traded with other players. Their potential, however, is much wider, with possible application to copyright and intellectual property rights, ticketing, and the sales and trading of video games. Non-fungible tokens add potential to the creation of security tokens, the tokenization of both digital and real-world assets. Physical assets like property could be tokenized for fractional or shared ownership. Imagine if there is an apartment complex for sale, right? And you don't have $1.5 million to buy all the apartments in that complex. You could essentially buy a fractional portion of that complex. It doesn't even have to be whole apartments. You could buy a fraction of you could buy the kitchen of an apartment for, which would be a fractional tokenized asset, right? And that would essentially be an NFT. That kitchen is unique, I'm assuming. But okay, physical assets like property could be tokenized for fractional or shared ownership. If these security tokens are non-fungible, the asset ownership is completely traceable and clear, even if only tokens representing part ownership are sold. Further applications of non-fungible tokens could be certifications such as for qualification, software, licensing, warranties, and even birth and death certificates. The smart contract of a non-fungible token immutably proves the identity of the recipient or owner and could be stored in a digital wallet for ease and access of representation. One day, our digital wallets could contain proof of every certificate, license, and asset that we own. And that is where this goes, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I learn a lot of things in this space alongside you guys. The DeFi thing really completely caught me by surprise. So I'm starting to try to pay attention to more use cases in this digital ecosystem that we can see clearly taking over the world. So NFTs, maybe I'll do a video on DeFi, and if more use cases, different things come up, I will definitely present educational info on those as well. Comment down below if you have any recommendations for anything else I should read on NFTs, or if you liked doing educational, what I consider educational. Maybe you didn't get anything from it, news. So, all right. Now, Ripple keeps pumping funds into MoneyGram. I love how CoinDesk takes little shots at Ripple every time they get the chance to do so. Essentially, what this is are these network bootstrapping fees. You know, Sam I Am does a great video on this. Crypto Eddie does a great video on this. My understanding is it's more so incentivization to build up this network effect. Bootstrapping the network, you know, they're essentially paying for the liquidity to aid in XRP and on-demand liquidity. But I believe this was MoneyGram's financial results that just got released today. $9.3 million, I think it was over the quarter. Yeah, Q3, over the period for the network fees. So you can look at the full actual press release that isn't slandering Ripple on MoneyGram's website, ir.moneygram.com/news. TAC releases, and you can find it on there as well if you're interested. All right, now I want to get into a couple of last minute things here. Verizon launches blockchain platform to verify its news releases. New York-based telecommunications company Verizon has announced the launch of a blockchain-based open source newsroom product designed to raise the bar for corporate accountability, according to this report. And you know, telecommunications, I have seen so many things from the telecoms industry, tying very much so into blockchain, into DLT, specific use cases. Verizon is just another example of that. So I'm expecting that we see many more, not just Verizon. We've obviously already seen Sprint with, I think it's Finality, right? FNALITY. Okay, and this is the actual release here. If you want to take a look down through it, you can go right to Verizon's website. Now, I found this interesting. Germany's central bank is working on a blockchain project, but it's not a central bank digital currency. I'm sure Germany's central bank is working on a central bank digital currency as well. But this is Bundesbank, and I've talked about them before. And what's interesting, though, is that this is Ocean Protocol. According to the public notice published in the supplement to the official Journal of the European Union, Ocean Protocol, a Singaporean nonprofit foundation, was hired to create a decentralized network for Germany's Bundesbank. The central bank said that the Ocean Protocol, which is a project of relatively limited renown, so not too known yet, was chosen mostly because they were the only possible contractor for the job, citing a lack of comparable competitors. So I am paying attention to Ocean Protocol. I actually do not hold Ocean Protocol. I've heard other individuals talk about Ocean in the past. I'm going to be doing some more digging on them as well. 61st right now as far as market cap, 194,564,447, which is not very high considering where the space is going to go. But again, I need to look. They actually are on some decent exchanges too, so which is nice to see here, because I'm always very hesitant of buying. I wouldn't consider this necessarily like a huge, like a very much so a low cap, but you know, 61st isn't, you know, not in the top 20, which is still a lot of room for growth in my opinion. But they've got a lot of good exchanges on here as well. So I'm going to be paying attention, doing a little bit more research on Ocean Protocol. And I also saw this today, Solve.care partners with Chainlink. The new integration can bring many benefits from blockchain technology to the healthcare industry. Solve.care, the blockchain-based healthcare platform, announced its partnership with Chainlink, one of the world's most decentralized Oracle networks. As a result of this partnership, Solve.care will integrate Chainlink's Oracle networks into its healthcare platform. This will leverage the use of smart contracts in the healthcare sector. So let me know if you guys liked this video, if you liked potentially trying to dig a little bit more and actually go over some terminology with you guys. And I learn right alongside of you guys a lot of this time too. So And if there's news tomorrow, I will present it, obviously. But I think the Brian Brooks crypto rocket fuel announcement is obviously pretty interesting because it's what we've been saying all along. It's not just blockchain and distributed ledger technology. That's essentially like saying we're going to drive a car without fuel, or we're going to drive an electric car without something to charge it with. Blockchain or cryptocurrency, digital assets, obviously are the fuel that drives this ecosystem. And I think that it's all rhetoric that's being presented to the people, saying that it's all about blockchain and DLT, but crypto plays no role in the future of finance is nonsense. We've got the head regulator in the entire country for the banks stating differently, stating that crypto is rocket fuel basically for these blockchains and DLTs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a fantastic Halloween. If there's something that comes out tomorrow, I'll surely do a video, but if not, I'm going to enjoy time with my family. So, all right, have a great night. Later.